feeling confident now. I'm going to be doing a white run today, so printing through those and we'll see how we get on. So this is episode 5 of Starting Street Black. So I've been working on the black garments now. As you can see, the print quality is, nice and bright. So I'm really chuffed with that. Also, it's cured properly, so it stretches without any issues, which if you'd seen episode 1, you'll see that just cracked immediately when I stretched it. So I'm really happy with that, really confident that that's good. I've also layered that up like 3 times as well. So with black, you always want to print a couple of layers with white ink on black because the fibers come through and you get like a bit of a grey look. Whereas if you want that bright white, then you need to print a couple of times. So print, flash, print on top of that again, and then flash that and then cure it. So naturally a couple of times, because I just want to make sure that it's a really solid print, I've gone over it about 3 times. So it's actually a really, really thick layer, which I actually quite like. Some people might not like it, but I think it feels really nice. It suits the garment because the garments I'm using are really, really heavyweights. They're all nice premium garments and they've got a real nice thick print on them as well. So I think that sort of gives it a nice bit of value as well. So I'm really happy with that. So a few things that I've bought recently as well. So you'll see my palette is looking a lot cleaner now. So I've given that a good old blast. I've really scraped off all of the old plaster sole with this. I was sanding it down as well. So I've got a sander and this, and working at both of them really gets all that grime off. I use this as well. It's an Easy Way product and it kind of breaks down the plaster sole ink because it's a bit of a nightmare. It just smears around and it's horrible. So I really need to learn how to contain the ink a bit more and trying to work a bit tidier with that so it doesn't just go everywhere, because the moment it goes everywhere, it's just a nightmare. And obviously I don't want to get any ink on any of the garments, so I really need to keep the workspace nice and tidy. So this is looking really good now, exactly how I want it. I've got a little line down the middle as well. So with the line, that's just going to ensure that everything I put on there is nice and centered. And when I set up the screen, I can make sure that the design is centered to that line, make sure the garment is centered to that line, and I get a nice straight print. I'm also using this now. So this is pallet tape. So instead of using the adhesive, like the glue that you smear around or the spray, because that was, like people have mentioned to me, that was just like raining glue everywhere. So there's just like sticky dust all over the place now, which I really don't want, and that's only going to get worse. Whereas this pallet tape, you lay it down, cut around it with a scalpel knife, and then you just peel off the top like it's just a massive roll of double-sided tape basically. And it's just going to save one task as well, so I don't have to keep loading that, reloading all the glue onto it. So I think that's a worthwhile thing to do, and it will hopefully keep everything a bit tidier as well, because I'm very much a fond believer of keep your workspace tidy and keep your head tidy. And that's one thing with printing. I know it can be really messy, but I want to try and keep it as lean and clean as possible, because I got no ambitions to become a print shop. I just want to have a small setup that I can print stuff on demand and try out a new garment and print it, rather than having to worry about ordering huge volumes of the thing and then it flops. I mean, who wants that? So I'm smashing through my prints, and then this happens, and this happened a few times now. It's a little shitty thread. So this bastard, look, so you got to watch out for these, and that's something that you just don't really think about. But just print over it, and it's all good. I know this is going to be an obvious one for experienced printers, but for me, these micro adjustments are so good for just lining up your artwork to be exact dead center in the print by using that little guideline down the middle of the palette. So here it is, the last white one. So I'm so happy with how these come out. Here's the quality. I'm not sure if you can see that, but hopefully you can. But yeah, white is so much easier to work with than the black. Obviously, because when you're using a black garment with white ink, it's double the amount of ink that you need, just so you don't get that sort of grey look with the fibers from the garment coming through. But yeah, Now I'm going to crack on with the front of these. So I've got to go and do the tedious task of washing out this screen, which I must admit I hate this part. It's just a nightmare. I really need to figure out how to do this well, because I'm having issues with the tape as well. So once I've like cleaned out the screen, got it all nice, it's difficult to get the tape to stick down. So I've had to do things in the past with like acetate when I've been using a different area. So hopefully I can figure that out soon, because that's quite an annoying one. But anyway, let's get on to the front. Another rookie error that you could learn from is cleaning your screen on a slight angle so it's not flat down to the pallet. I did that and ended up pushing the screen down so it stuck to the platen, and then all the ink came through as well, which is only going to go all over the t-shirts on the next run. So yeah, had to redo that, which is annoying and wasteful. So that was a really successful day printing. I've got all the whites done now. I'll grab one for you. So I went with the illustration in the end on the front. I was kind of deciding whether I would or not, but yeah, I did one with just the typography, but on reflection, I just wasn't really feeling it. Just went back to the initial instinct of putting that on there, and happier stuck with it. But what I think I'll do is a separate basic range with just that coordinate design on the front, and that just literally that on its own. Also, I've made a new platen as well, so I'm going to be using this for sleeve prints. Also, I was gagging to get some use out of that tiny little Riley Hopkins one that came standard with the press. So I thought I'd try and print some t-shirts for my kids. Printed this, a little bit of shameless advertising on my kids. Why not? Made one for my 1-year-old as well, and it's his birthday today. I also did a sample on some shorts, which I think looks really cool, like on the shorts, but it's just the wrong placement. I tried them on and it just feels so weird. So I definitely wasted this, which is really annoying. Instead of printing it here, I should have printed it more here. Got these sample shorts as well. I'm going to be printing on these soon with white, see how those come out. Also, I'm going to be doing the coach jacket that I've always wanted to do, and I've got a banging sample, so I'll show you now. So this jacket is from Stanley Stella, and it is the bollocks. It's so good. Really, really like it. I mean, I'm totally going to be wearing this. And some of you guys that might have followed me from the earlier days on Instagram may have known that the coach jacket was like something that I really, really got going with and did like a big series about. And I really wanted to print it back then at the time, and I remember speaking to printers and they were saying that it would be a nightmare to print something like a coach jacket because you get the slip from the lining on the inside. So they really basically talked me out of it and tried to sell me this one instead. So this is from the Independent Trading Co. And it's just, there's no lining. And yeah, you could stick that to the pallet and print on it and you wouldn't have any slip, but it's just garbage. I don't like it at all. I mean, I just don't like the material of it. It's just horrible. And I think if you wore that as well, it just feel horrible. Like in the summer as well, that I just feel all sweaty and gross and I just not really into it. Whereas this one has a lining, and I was looking into all different various ways of how you can basically clamp it down onto the platen, and you don't have to worry about any of that slip. And then I noticed this secret little zip on the back. So it's got this little zip down here. You unzip that all the way across, and then you can just whack it straight on the platen. So that is literally perfect. and they've clearly thought this through. So kudos to Stanley Stella for that. In the next episode, I'm probably going to ruin this coach jacket. But you never know, I might print it well. I need to look into certain things like how that's going to go on the heat press. I'm pretty sure it will be all right. I've done a little bit of research, and for the temperature that I cure at, which is 150 at least, and with 20 seconds on the heat press at like a mild, sort of like medium pressure, nothing extreme. That's the right way to cure it for what I'm doing. With the Plastisol inks that I've got, each ink's different, but for my inks, and I'm using the Amex ones, that's the curing time. So I'm going to try this jacket and see how this comes out, and I'm really excited to crack on with that. So that will be next episode, so tune in, and hopefully we'll do some sleeves as well in that same episode. So yeah, look forward to seeing you then, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Cheers.